pray you get into Princeton. Don't waste your prayers on stupid things like world peace.
Hello fellow binge watchers, welcome to our channel. This is our first ever episode and today we're going to be reviewing on the show Never Have I Ever.
Was this show released a few months ago?
Yeah, and is this an extremely late review?
Also yes, but guess what? This show has been getting a lot of traction lately and some Emmy snubs.
Not to mention, it's just been renewed for a season 2. So we thought, why not review on this beloved show and give our third culture Indian take on it?
Because we love Mindy. I mean the show. We love the show. So,
Never Have I Ever.
It's the first ever American series that is centered around an Indian American teenager.
the show chronicles around Devi's embarrassing moments as she navigates through adolescence with her friends and family, while also overcoming the loss of her dearly beloved father.
But anyway, this show has been critically acclaimed for its diverse cast, its refreshing storyline, and the fact that it brings to light delicate topics that are now relevant in today's society. So warning, major spoilers ahead. So if you watched the show, that's great. We would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment on our YouTube channel.
And if you haven't watched the show, that's okay too. Please continue watching our video and like, subscribe, and comment on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Anyway, let's get down to the real talk. While I was watching this show, I realized the theme of insecurity is something that's carried forward on all of the characters' storyline. Let's start with our resident big virgin fraud, Devi Vishwakumar.
The show starts with her list of ridiculous yet pretty accurate for a teenager list of demands, revealing from the get-go that Devi does have her fair share of insecurities.
I'd like to be invited to a party with alcohol and hard drugs. I'd love for my arm hair to thin out. And lastly, most importantly, I'd really like a boyfriend.
And when things don't go according to Devi's plan, you get a pathological liar with serious anger management issues.
So I understand where Devi's coming from.
Some old loser was telling me that I'm too Indian, and some other people think I'm not Indian enough.
She's constantly stuck between two cultures because she's trying to embrace her Indian culture while trying to blend in with the American culture, almost to a point that she's always embarrassed of her Indian heritage.
I don't really feel at home right now in my choice of clothing. I mean, usually I don't, but especially today.
The thing is that we do end up struggling with identifying where we belong because you have to kind of pick some aspects of both cultures and make it your own.
So then you fall in this awkward in-between of the Venn diagram, and all you can just think is, where the hell do I belong? Seriously guys, where the hell do I belong?
What if I pick the wrong one? What if this is too much? What if this is too less? It's a constant struggle bus. It's never a good balance because anything you do is never enough.
Her estrangement from her Indian culture is probably the reason why she is jealous of her cousin sister Kamla, who in her eyes is not only beautiful, but also the ideal definition of a good Indian woman.
I don't think Devi necessarily wants to be like Kamala. I just think that Devi has these deep-rooted mommy issues. All Devi wants is her mom to be like, "Oh, Mita, I'm so proud of you. I love you so much. You're my fave." Only Dara, but that's okay. That's besides the point. I don't think that's too much to ask for. And I get Devi's jealousy when she sees Nalini being so chill and easygoing with Kamala. I'd be jealous too.
So let's move on to the scary Indian lady of Sherman Oaks, Melanie Vishwakumar. We see Melanie throughout the show trying to cope with her loneliness. It's almost like there's a hole in her life and she feels that she doesn't have a good enough support system in the US. And of course, the ultimate goal of the day is to act like the good wife.
His family wants to see that you can cook, clean, and cater to their son's needs. They basically want him to marry his own mother. After you get married, you move to the United States, you can do whatever you want.
The theme of insecurity is not only showcased on the leads, but also on the supporting cast as well. Like in the case of Ben Gross's constant need of attention from his disinterested parents and his fake girlfriend.
Or with Paxton's obvious frustration in being typecast as a sex god with no intellect or feelings. Because, we hot people have problems too.
Fab and Eleanor have pivotal storylines as well, where Fab, after really conflicting with her feelings, finally comes out as gay, first to a robot, and Eleanor gets over her major mommy abandonment issues. Yay, because bye Joyce, see you never.
We are introduced in the first episode itself to elements of grief and depression when we sadly get to know that Devi's father has died of a heart attack.
And this shock leads Devi to be paralyzed for 3 months. I think it's a very interesting way to show that depression can be manifested in a physical way as well. We don't see too much of that. But of course, she started to walk again when she saw Paxton behind a dumpster near a grocery mart. No big deal.
As the show progresses, we get to know that all the insecurities that Devi has been facing has been a defense mechanism to overcome the fact that she's depressed over her father's death.
She doesn't want to process these feelings, and she thinks the best way to deal with all of this is to just sweep these feelings and emotions under the carpet like her mother does and pretend like it never happened.
Some good use those therapy sessions were.
No, Shruti. No. They discussed some very important things.
Popping my cherry, Doc.
Oh, Lord.
Let's lighten things up with a little fun game, huh? No, we definitely have way more options than just choosing between family and disgrace.
Yes, love marriages are definitely acceptable amongst Indians. That is, of course, if you are lucky in love.
And if you haven't found your soulmate, fret not. Arranged marriages to the rescue! In all honesty, arranged marriages have evolved exponentially for all Indians around the world.
It's like Tinder, except your parents are the ones who are setting you up. And of course, you have like 1,000 eyes all over you.
And not all guys you meet through arranged marriages are uggos. Jeez, give your parents some credit. They want cute grandkids too.
Tell me about it. I am so glad that they chose a good-looking and a nice guy like Prashant.
I also really liked how they showed Prashant and Kamala talking things out and deciding to take it slow, because this is actually how arranged marriages are practiced today.
Again, nobody is trying to be the boy's mother. And most guys actually want educated girls. Because rent ain't cheap. Not at all.
Not like Devi, no I'm not.
Mom, you're being such a bitch! I wish you were the one that died that night.
I'm shook. Actually, depression and mental health are finally getting the recognition amongst Indians today, especially with influencers and celebrities spreading awareness about it.
Yeah, but I have to agree that most Indian parents in Nalini's generation are of the impression that therapy is a waste of time, money, and socially unacceptable.
Gossipy aunties exist in every culture. They're no different than the Real Housewives.
Except for you, LVP. You're like in a different league altogether.
Well, we do have a different accent for sure. But no, we don't always talk like Abu from The Simpsons.
There are so many Indian accents and you cannot box it into one category because India is such a huge country with different languages and dialects.
Right? As a show centered around Indian culture, it would have been really nice to see a wide variety of Indian accents as compared to slapping the same Indian accent that's been shown on American TV since God knows when.
I still feel that Nalini's accent was pretty accurate and very similar to the kind of accents that I have heard while growing up. Whereas Kamala and Prashant, I'm sorry, that was really, really bad acting with like the overly Indianized, stereotypical Indian accents and the constant head bobbing, which we don't do. Not always.
So, Shruti, who was your favorite character from the show?
Well, who's yours?
Nalini Vishwakumar for the best dialogues,
The best group.
best comebacks. This show starts off as being a satire to your typical chick flick TV shows, but towards the end, it really picks up as being a real feel-good family drama.
Similarly, the show starts off with being a satire on the typical Indian traditions. However, the second half of the show pretty much redeems it by debunking those stereotypes and actually showing how Indians and non-resident Indians are in today's day and age.
I really hope they continue breaking down these typical stereotypes in the future season.
I also really want Nalini to start dating in season 2.
Maybe Kamala can open her a Tinder account. Oh my god.
I would also like to see Devi's growth this season because she had zero, nada.
She was a shit show, but a very relatable one.
Jesus Christ!
Overall, we do think that the writing was very weak in the beginning of the season, but strongly picks up towards the end.
And I guess we, as the viewers, got very, very interested in the Vishwakumars.
Now we gotta wait a whole year to see what Mindy pulls out of her bag. Well, we hope you enjoyed watching our video.
You can catch us on Instagram for some trivia and fun facts. Also, please show us some love and support by leaving your comments down below and subscribing to our channel. This is why I never decided to become an actress. Although I could have been.
A little dramatic, but that's who I am. Drama.